What's up guys, this is your host Jasraj and welcome back to Chasjam. So first of all, really sorry I couldn't upload a video last week. To be honest, I had shot one video, I had even edited it and the problem occurred in rendering and I somehow lost that video, and that is the reason why I couldn't upload a video last week. So apologies for that. And so today's video is about iron deficiency and low hemoglobin levels. Now this topic was suggested to me by one of our subscribers and here I am making a video on it. So let's begin. And before we start today's video, I request you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Press the bell icon because every time I upload a video, you will get notified about it. And like this video and also comment on my video after watching it. So, intro. Iron deficiency leads to a disease called as iron deficiency anemia. Now, iron deficiency anemia is so common, especially in India, that every year India has about 10 million cases, right? So it is that common in our country. And also women are more susceptible to this condition than men. And I will tell you the reason behind that further in my video. Let us first discuss the causes of iron deficiency anemia, right? So as the name itself suggests, iron deficiency anemia is a result of iron deficiency in your body. Now this occurs due to lack of iron in your blood. Now iron is one such metal which is extremely important for our body because it helps to create hemoglobin protein, which is responsible for carrying oxygen throughout our body, right? And oxygen is very important for our life processes, and hence lack of iron or deficiency of iron leads to lower levels of hemoglobin, which in turn leads to lower levels of oxygen in the blood, and that can lead to severe issues, right? So the number one cause of iron deficiency is blood loss. Now this reason is very common in women, right? Because women basically lose a lot of blood every month during the menstruation, right? Hence specifically during the menstruation period, women should consume iron rich food and ensure that iron intake is not sacrificed, right? The second cause of iron deficiency is lack of iron in your diet. Obviously we all know the kind of foods that we eat these days, right? It's majority of the junk food and all that stuff, and which are completely devoid of nutrients, and so not just iron, they don't have any other nutrients, right? So that is the reason why a lot of people suffer from iron deficiency, because their diets don't have or have very low levels of iron in them, and hence iron deficiency or iron rich foods should be included in your diet. The third reason is that lack of iron absorption. Now you might be consuming adequate amounts of iron, right? But what about the absorption or the bioavailability, as we say? It is basically that the amount of iron your body can actually absorb. That is, you might be eating adequate quantities of iron when you count the amount of iron that you are taking in, but your body may not be able to absorb it adequately, and because of which iron deficiency can occur, right? So these are the top three reasons. Now let us discuss the symptoms which will help you diagnose iron deficiency. Initially, that is when you are in the nascent stage of iron deficiency anemia, there is a high chance that your body might not show even a single symptom, right? So you might not even know that you are in the initial stages or the nascent stages of iron deficiency, right? And so it is very important that even though you don't have any such symptoms, you need to keep a check on your iron intake. Just do one easy thing. Take a note of all the foods that you eat for a period of about 2 to 3 days, and then you will get an idea of the amount of iron you eat on a daily basis, right? And that will help you to keep a check on your iron levels. The adequate amount of iron that your body requires is about 16 to 17 milligrams per day. But now this quantity varies from person to person, and hence you should take in the amount of iron that you require, that your body actually requires, right? So here are the symptoms. Now, as I said, iron deficiency leads to lower hemoglobin levels, because of which oxygen levels in the blood reduce, right? And hence a lot of symptoms are related to shortage of oxygen, such as dizziness. Now, whenever we run or we perform any physical activity, our heart has to basically pump in more blood to supply more levels of oxygen, right? And because during that time the oxygen requirement of our body increases. But since you're already in this condition of low oxygen levels, your heart has to pump in a lot more amount of blood to satisfy the oxygen needs, right? Because of which you feel breathless, you feel tired very easily, you will feel fatigue, you might also have brittle nails, pale skin, etc. So now these are the main symptoms which occur in the initial stages, right? Like these are the first symptoms which a person with iron deficiency sees in himself, right? Now let us talk about the cure of the disease. Iron deficiency anemia is a condition which has various levels of severity, and depending upon the severity you get the specific cure, right? But what I suggest is the best way to diagnose iron deficiency is by visiting your doctor, who will basically ask you to get your blood test done, and depending upon the report of your blood test you will get an idea about the iron deficiency that you have, right? Now this is the best way and the safest way for sure. Depending upon the severity of the deficiency or the severity of the disease that you are in, the doctor will prescribe you certain supplements maybe, or if not required, or if you are just at the nascent stage, it can be corrected quite efficiently by correcting your diet, right? And even if you haven't seen any symptoms about iron deficiency in your body, you should still keep a check on the iron intake, and also at least calculate. If you aren't aware of the amount of iron that you take in on a daily basis, I recommend you to check it up, and that is calculate the amount of iron that you're taking on a daily basis and make required modifications, right? Like if you're already consuming at lower levels, you should increase it and consume iron at adequate levels, right? So yes, so let us discuss the cure. So the number one cure is, but obvious, the most natural way, right? Correcting your diet, like filling your diet with iron rich foods. And specifically if you are a vegetarian, you need to calculate your iron very properly, because of the reason that since you're not consuming meat or the non-vegetarian stuff, you need to take in adequate iron quantities. Now there is a reason behind this, right? Now there are two types of iron, right? One is the heme iron and the other one is the non-heme iron. The heme iron is the iron which is found in meat, right? That is all the non-veg foods that we consume, and non-heme iron is the one present in the vegetable sources, right? Now our body basically absorbs heme iron, that is the iron which is present in meat and all the non-vegetarian food items, in a more proper way, and that is the bioavailability of heme iron, that is the amount of iron that our body can absorb from heme iron is much more than non-heme iron. And that is the reason why even if you calculate the amount of iron that you're taking in from all the vegetarian sources, your body might not be absorbing all that iron, but then you can correct it, right? So basically whenever you consume iron rich foods, you should also consume vitamin C rich foods, vitamin A rich foods, because these basically food items have shown to increase the absorption capacity of non-heme iron specifically. And also along with heme iron also, these things should be consumed for better absorption, right? In fact, a study showed that consuming vitamin C rich food along with the iron rich food in a meal increases the absorption of iron by about 67%, and also consuming vitamin A and beta carotene along with iron rich food increase the iron absorption capacity of the body by about 80 to 300% depending upon the type of grain we are eating, right? And hence these vitamins should be included along with iron for better absorption, right? Some of the iron rich foods which you can incorporate in your diet include poultry, pork, red meat, seafood, and for vegetarians it can be beans, green leafy vegetables such as spinach, dry fruits, peas, and also iron fortified pastas and stuff like that. But personally I don't suggest you taking fortified food items, because all these fortified food items, that is all the fortified nutrients which are present in all these food products, are generally synthetically prepared, right? So these vitamins and these nutrients, these fortified nutrients which are synthetically prepared, they are just similar to the original, right? Most of the time these are similar to the original nutrients which are present in the whole food, and hence they don't produce the same effect which the whole food nutrients can produce, right? The bioavailability of these fortified nutrients is much less as compared to the naturally present nutrient in the food, right? So hence I don't recommend taking in synthetically prepared or the fortified nutrients food items. Instead always go for whole food which is directly taken in from the nature. Along with that, include vitamin C rich foods in your diet such as grapefruit, strawberries, leafy vegetables, oranges, tomatoes, broccoli, etc. And vitamin A rich food includes carrots, spinach, red peppers, apricots, oranges, and sweet potatoes. Also an important thing is, if you are anemic, that is if you see any of these symptoms of iron deficiency anemia, completely stop caffeinated beverages such as coffee and all the cold drinks out there, right? Another reason of not consuming these things, because they basically hamper the absorption of iron, right? And hence these should be completely avoided. Never consume iron supplement unless prescribed by a physician, because iron, if taken in excess quantities, it accumulates in the liver and it goes on accumulating for years, which can later lead to liver damage and heart issues. And hence Excess of iron is also not good, hence you should not take iron supplements on your own. So basically the best thing that I suggest you to do is visit a physician, get your test done, and then check whether you are deficient or not. And in general, if you don't see any symptoms, then it's always good to just keep your diet in a good way, calculate the amount of iron that you're eating, maintain it in a proper way, taking the required amounts, taking all the other vitamin A, vitamin C and stuff like that which I have suggested in the video, and stay healthy. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for supporting to my channel, and once again I'm really sorry I couldn't upload a video last week. And yes, so if you like today's video, then kindly press the like button, comment down on my video on how do you find it, suggest me new topics to make videos on, and also subscribe to my channel, press the bell icon. Until I see you soon, tada.